Okay, welcome back. Now, this example is kind of cool because if you've ever wondered how surveying is done, it's all trigonometry. So if you've ever seen those guys in the highway and they've got this tripod with this like camera looking thing and they're looking through it and stuff like that, this is how they measure angles and measure distances, and then they basically use trigonometry to find the distance between 2 points in a large area of land. For example, in this example here, let's say we've got this river, right? And well, they want to measure this distance, but there's no tape measure that we're going to be able to use with any kind of accuracy that's going to be able to stretch from this point to this point across a river. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, the way they do it is they pick a point beyond this line AB. So let's say this is the distance we want to find. Okay, and so what they do is they pick a point beyond B that when they stand here, B and A line up perfectly. And they'll call this, let's say, C, position C. So now, what happens? Okay, well now they've got this point, right? Now what they do is they find a perpendicular. What they do is they draw a perpendicular line from point B out to some other point, right? Of a certain distance. Okay, let's say right here. Okay, and we'll call that D. And what they'll do is they'll pick a point perpendicular to C. They'll come back over this way, all the way over here, until A and D line up. So right about here. Okay, and let's call this E. Okay, now they know this angle here because they can measure this angle because they constructed this perpendicular bisector. They know from here, or not perpendicular line to this line here, so they know they can measure this angle. Well, this angle, based on what we talked about transversals, right? These are two parallel lines, right? This is a transversal. So this angle here, which the surveyor can measure, must be the same as this angle here. Okay? So now, this is the triangle they're trying to do. So we know, guess what? We know this distance. This is the distance that they walked out or mapped out. And we know this angle, which means we can use trigonometry to find this distance. Okay? To very good accuracy, by the way. So let's say the angle is 49 degrees and 105 feet. So let's say this is 49 degrees, 49.0 degrees, and this distance is 105 feet. Okay? So now, guess what? I want to find this distance, right? Right, distance AB. Well, let's call it Y. Well, how are we going to find Y? Well, what trigonometric relationship between Y and this angle? So this is the adjacent side. This is the opposite side. We want to do opposite and adjacent. That's going to be tangent. So what we use is the tangent of 49 degrees is equal to opposite Y over 105 feet. Now all we do is multiply both sides by 105 and we get Y equals 105 times tangent of 49.0 degrees And now all we have to do is stick that in our calculator, and lo and behold, we get approximately 120.788. Okay, now, oops, that's not degrees, that's feet. Okay, now, here, since we're going out to the tenths place, since our measurement of angle goes out to the tenth of a degree, we want to go out to 2 significant digits. So 2 significant digits would be here. So, well, what do? Looks like they're not following the rules. They have okay, apparently they're going up to the nearest foot, which is fine. So here they're going out to the nearest foot, which would be approximately 121 feet. Okay, now that's 3 significant digits, but again, it just depends on the situation and what the directions say. And that's it. Have a great day.